Very strong, and Spain perhaps one of the crews that have an outside shot.
So it's the bow of that yellow, you can just see that yellow tip, that's the Hungarian boat, but the pink boat is the German boat, and that's the marker for everybody.
Looks like Birgit's really digging in there, getting the stroke right out front, getting it out early, and the Germans look very strong coming through here at just about 200 in.
And the Germans with the best part of a quarter of a boat length over the Hungarians are just on their inside. Then there's quite a battle at the moment going on for third place. The Spanish are right up there. They're just the closest bow to you on the boat. 200 meters to go now, and Birgit Fischer keeping the drive on. The Hungarians looking, they're going to need to accelerate now, Ren.
Well, they've got to really pick it up if they're going to catch the Germans. The Germans have so much experience and are so strong.
Coming through down with just a little more than 100 meters to go, and the Germans are really accelerating. They've kicked in again.
Looks like the Germans have done their set with about 100 to go and are pulling away from the Hungarians.
And that is now half a boat length, and a scrap really on here for third place as the blades are really flying in the K4 500 for women. Germany just tying up a little bit. Hungary, I think, are not going to get to them. The line's going to come in time for Germany. Germany lead from start to finish. Hungary a second, and then Spain are in there for a bronze medal in the World Championships. And just finishing fourth there looks to be Poland perhaps, but wait for confirmation from that. But a gun-to-tape run there by the Germans. Gold medal for the woman you're looking at in the front of that kayak, Birgit Fischer, 35, but as talented as ever.
Well, she took that K4.
Closest to you on camera, and look at those flags there. It's really blowing into their faces at the 500-meter mark.
Well,
started just about to get them underway. You can see the bows of those boats slotted into the boots. First time start there, very quick start there by Dittmar of Germany, two from the bottom of the screen in that traditional pink boat, and there is Andreas Dittmar already beginning to power his way, and this will be quite interesting because he came with a late charge to overhaul Doctor, but the tactics are different today.
Absolutely, this is a fantastic field. So much experience out here, no retirees in this field at all. And Slavinsky, Buhalov, and Belitsa are three guys that like the 500 better than the 1,000.
And Buhalov, the man who's won this title from 1992 to 1995, unbroken in those years, the Olympic title in Barcelona and then 3 consecutive world titles. So that's what he's trying to defend now.
The Hungarian looks fantastic. His technique looks absolutely fantastic. He's just really catching out front, ripping it through, getting good hip action. Doctor on his right, also looking well, looking very smooth, and maybe Slavinsky up, the Ukrainian up in lane 2, maybe slowing a bit coming through 250.
Well, lagging behind Steve Giles, but he came fast and late in the 1,000 meters. That's what he's going to have to do, but he hasn't got much water left. And at the moment, looks to be Belitsa up there. The man from Budapest, the 27-year-old bronze medalist. Here comes Doctor, who's applying the pressure now, and the Ukrainian Slavinsky in lane 8 now. But it's Belitsa being really pressured now. Can he hold on there as Slavinsky looks for yet another world title? And where's Buhalov? He's not really in the firing line, Ren.
No, he's not. He's dropped back, and he's looked like to be out of it. But Belitsa and the Slavinsky, and look at Doctor rip up the water. Look at him come with that amazing technique.
There he is,
catch,
wearing that traditional skull and bones headband. Superstitious man, and Doctor's now looking to take this 500-meter world title. Yesterday he got caught. Today it looks to me as if he's going to take this world title. Doctor for the Czech Republic. Belitsa being tackled by Slavinsky on the far side, and Belitsa, I think, just gets there ahead of something, and Giles of Canada late for fourth.
Wow, Giles is on the inside with the home crowd just right beside him. Maybe brought.
He felt yesterday in the K2, and he could easily double up here. He's not going to want to give up the chance for this time. Well, furthest away, Peter Scott of Australia, and then inside to his left, Knut Holman, who was another man who looked particularly miserable yesterday when he finished disappointing third over 1,000 meters. He was the world champion over that distance. He still is the Olympic champion, but they'll be hoping for better things today. Yeah. Lane number 7, not yet arriving, Litz Lovalsky. Here he is. Lutz, who finished in 4th place, got a medal, third place medal in Duisburg. and that's his first major medal. But here's Antonio Rossi, 28 years of age and really one of Italy's main stars. The man to beat today. Boton Storz, 1,000 meter individual champion, and what a burn-up that promises to be between him and Rossi. Peter Murkoff, fifth in the Europeans at Plovdiv in July. And next to him, the man who took the silver medal, Gregory Kotovic, who was the World Cup champion for the season with no less than 6 individual wins. And there, Michael Kolganov for Israel. And closest to us, Michael Apostol of Canada for the host country. Starter's arm raised now. So this promises to be a fascinating duel here. I say duel, there are 9 boats, but we're really looking for Antonio Rossi in lane number 6 and Boton Storz of Hungary in 5.
We should really watch for Rossi in the last 200 meters. He kicks almost every 50 meters going in that last into the last bit of the race, and it'll be interesting to see him and Storz go hammer and tongs here in the last 200.
Well, Poland's Gregory Kotovic has made a very quick start. Actually, the world champion 2 years ago was his teammate Piotr Markovic, who hasn't really managed to establish that sort of form. But he's up against it here, and it's the Hungarian once again who's beginning to make an impression. Rossi in lane 6 moving up there. Hungary's Boton Storz still to come, but he's just about in 3rd place, and the Pole is saying, catch me if you can. This is the man who's had 6 World Cup wins, 1 in Duisburg, so in all the early season form, he's the man to catch. But this is the World Championship.
Well, watch Rossi go from now here on in. He just keeps kicking it up into the gears, and there he goes again. You can see him dig in. It's going to be interesting to see whether Kotovic can hold this form. He's actually looking good. He's getting a lot of rotation and reaching it out in front. Rossi looks like maybe he's tying up a bit, and here comes Storz.
Storz will come late and fast, as he did 24 hours ago, but it's still the Pole who has it now, and the Hungarian Storz now becomes the main threat towards the Pole as we drive towards the line, and just about 40 meters towards the line, and coming on the far side there in lane 8 is Knut Holman of Norway, but it's Storz trying to catch the Pole, but the Pole hanging on for dear life here as the Hungarian comes through, and he's got him! Oh, and Storz does the double there in 2nd place. Gregory Kotovic of Poland, and another man who's had a superb weekend.
Well, Storz, you had that silver in the K4 as well yesterday to go with his gold, and the gold today, a double world champion.
Well, they're getting a lot of work out of him, but he's delivering the goods and having a fantastic time. Just 22 years of age, and well, that's as time to perfection as you'll ever get it.
Kotovic just couldn't keep turning and digging hard enough at the end, and Storz has just been so powerful this weekend.
And then 3rd place looks to have gone to Rossi there, just 1 up from Storz. We'll get the reverse angle here. Boat in the middle there is the Hungarian, and then there's the Pole, Kotovic, and the next man to cross the line. Just shooting the bow forward there, Rossi, just to make sure that Holman didn't come up and surprise him. To hold off. France in lane 1, closest to you, Sabine Kleinheitz, former downriver world champion like Oshie Profanta, but these days focusing on sprinting. French yet to get a medal at these championships. Lane 9 furthest away from you, Romania, Sweden, Australia, Italy, Hungary, Germany with the pink boat, Spain then, and Poland and France. 500 meters. And starter not quite happy.
Attention, please.
Well, this will be interesting to see how Schuck and Fischer can do, and actually Donus and Sigani in lane 5 had a tremendous collapse in the last 100 at the Worlds in Duisburg, and maybe they can atone for that here. Schmidt with that characteristic technique. She was in the front of the boat in the 500, and look at her dig for that catch.
Yes, very little recovery time. The women were on duty, first race of the day. At the moment, the local time here, Atlantic time, is 10:22, and she was racing at 8:35 this morning, so she's really had to turn it round. And also Josefa Idem, who's in lane 6 partnering Ravetta for Italy. She has even less time. So really they're working hard now, and Fisher is really driving this kayak.
Well, Fisher ripping up the water there, just like they did her and her partner did in the 1,000, trying to get out and get ahead and just totally establish themselves.
That is amazing. They've almost got clear water as they go through half distance here. And Annette Shook used to partner up with Ramona Portwich, and they won this title in 1995 at Duisburg. So Portwich trying to retain the gold medal, but look here, coming quite strongly. Looks to be
the young Poles are coming up very strong, and it looks like Sagani and Donush are fading a little bit as they did in Duisburg 2 years ago. Look at Shook in the back of that pink boat, pushing Fisher through the finish. Shook, one of the forgotten members of that German team with tons of experience and tons of medals, but not much attention.
Coming down to the line now, and certainly it's going to be another German gold, but a real scrap here. Is it going to be Poland for silver as they come through? Also, watch out for the Spanish finishing really fast, and also at the top of the picture there, it was the Swedes as well, with Australia, in fact. No doubt about the gold. Fisher clocks up gold number 24 in her career. Just amazing. 3 more at these World Championships. Annette Shook delighted because she's retained the title, but very close for the places there. Germany. Really, really good run there. Just looking at the places. Now, Germany, Australia, is that?
Yes,
that looks to be Anna Wood and Katrin Borchert, who've got the silver medal ahead of, is it Spain?
It is.
It is Spain.
Wow.
Beatrix Monchon and Izasku Arambu, just babies really, 21 years of age, both of them, and that's a famous in 1995 in Germany, and 2 of that quartet survive today. But as happens with many of these crews, after an Olympic cycle is completing, there's quite a turnaround of talent and quite a few rearrangements. Bulgaria, well, they were 6th in the European Championships, actually ahead of the Russians. The Hungarians were and took the European title in July, and they were 2nd to the Germans, who are just coming into their lane now, yesterday over the 1,000-meter distance. But incidentally, the Germans, they won in Duisburg, so they're going to be tough to crack. The Italians, 4th in Europe, 5th yesterday, a little bit disappointing. Swedes were 3rd behind the Germans and behind the Australians in Duisburg, but the Australians not making this final.
That's a big surprise there, big surprise.
Norway in lane 3, then Poland, bronze medalist 2 years ago, 4th over 1,000 meters yesterday, 3rd in the Europeans, and Romania. That's their quartet, and they were 7th in Europe. So
Sweden may be a dark horse in this race, actually. They got some young guys and could very well come up with a big race here over 500.
Even in this headwind, it'll probably be just a minute 30. Not much more, maybe a bit less even, to get this race done. But watch for Hungary, Germany in particular.
An explosive start from all these boats. Germany out very, very quick.
Yes, they were extremely quick into that first stroke, the Germans there. Features in that crew Torsten Gutsche, who traditionally used to partner with Kai Bloom.
And look at Gutsche with that characteristic high-handed stroke. They've really taken it out hard. And Sweden there, right there as well. And then the Russians even out on the far side in lane 9. Sweden actually looking quite good here, looking like a very good smooth stroke. Lots of relaxation, even at the 140, 145 stroke rate that they're probably going at.
Hungarians in a very good position there with the Germans. That's good to be there as they come through the half distance there. Also going particularly well are the Swedes at the moment in the yellow vest in the foreground there. Sandwiched between them are the Italians, who've looking to me as if they're not really going to feature in this, but it's Germany now with Hungary on the far side, Sweden making their challenge now. And this would be something if the Swedes can come through, but they're on the premises. And look at the Hungarians, just kicked in. Hungarians have really just kicked in on the Germans there, and that Hungarian bow has gone to the fore. Hungarians who were only fourth 2 years ago, and they've really got their spirits up now. Storz is in that boat on Storz, double gold medalist, and he's really looking for a third goal as they come down towards the line now, and it's the Hungarians for the Germans. The Swedes hanging on for a bronze medal, and the Swedes get the bronze, just denying to me, I think it was the Poles who finished fourth.
Wow, that quite a race by the Hungarians. They've had a long time coming to beat the Germans over this distance or any distance in the K4, and Storz with his third gold of the championships, along with a silver that he got in the K4 1000 yesterday.
Whoever the person is, and I don't actually know who it is who chooses athletes of the championships, is really going to struggle now, because we've got Birgit Fischer, who's got 3 gold medals. Storz is absolutely flying now with 3, and Caroline's got 2 with possibly a third to come.
Well, and there was Sweden looking a bit disjointed and out of stroke there at the end, but hung on. As I said, kind of had a good feeling about them coming in. Kalle Sundqvist, former Olympic medalist, coaching them for the past few years. Now Agneta Andersson taking over the helm of the Swedish team and doing a very good job. They've got a lot of young guys and a lot of depth.
As you say, it wasn't... Well, this is the lineup for the 200 meters for men. Furthest away, Yugoslavia. It's Filipovic. Then Italy's Ezio Caldonetto. Kolganov of Israel goes in lane number 7. Finland in 6. And Hungary's representative. 1 or 2 new faces in the lineup here. Kotovic got a silver medal in 500 meters. He'd certainly be one of the men I'd be looking for today to maybe grab a gold. This title was won in Duisburg in 1997 by Piotr Markovic, and Markovic really hasn't been on that sort of form all season. That's disappointing. The Polish performance here has been overall disappointing, particularly the sort of good results that they were showing in the early part of the season in the World Cup regattas, but they haven't continued that way right through to the championships where it really matters.
Attention, please.
Here we go for the start. The men's 200 meters, and the blades already flying there in lane number 5. That's the Hungarian Fehervari, who's already moving to the forward, and that's a decisive move. That's an enormous burst of speed.
He's gone out. He's going for it.
Fehervari coming down. We're inside the 100 meters already now, and he's got the advantage now. Can he hold on as they try to close? I don't think he's going to be closed down in lane number 4. Kotovic is coming late, but he's coming too late, I think, and this is going to be a gold medal for Hungary, and that's an amazing margin in a 200. Poland gets second, and I think Slavinsky, that's Alexei Slavinsky of the Ukraine, gets the bronze medal. But that was an astonishing burst of power.
That was a decisive win. Right out of the blocks, he went to the front. Just sometimes the athletes coming out of the blocks hit the rhythm perfect, and there's an example of that. And the finality of the distance allows nobody any time to catch up.
And that's a huge margin. Almost 3/4 of the length of a kayak to be ahead. And this title in 1995 in Duisburg, won by the Americans.
The
That was
American,
Stein Jorgensen and John Mooney, and one of the noticeable thing at this regatta has been the absenteeism of the American contingent. Really, there's a problem there, and you know it, Tony, because you're down in Gainesville on the Olympic site and part of the program to try and do something about it.
it's been an embarrassing championship once again for the Americans after not making a final at the Olympic Games.
And I presume it's not a quick fix. It's a question of the juniors coming through.
Well, the countries who are on the podium here have traditionally been on the podium at the Junior Worlds year after year. It's not a sport you can start late and cut corners. It takes hours of work, and you know, we've got a lot of work to do if we're going to have any competitors at the Sydney Olympic Games.
Well, that's then, this is now, and just continuing down the lineup there. Romania and then Slovakia will be closest to you. I think here certainly we'll have a look out two from the top of the screen. I'll be looking for the Poles, the combination of Freimut and Wysoki, because they've been sort of knocking on the door. They haven't had much luck so far at these championships. They just keep missing out.
Great to see the Israelis in lane 6 into a final. They've had a great championship here.
Yeah, Kolganov and Rami Zor. Well, that would be quite something if they could put themselves on the medal table. Some 15 countries represented with medals, and that's a much healthier situation than we've seen for a while. And canoeing really in very good spirits at the moment, with the reinstatement of slalom into the Sydney Olympic Games, subject to final approval from the IOC, I have to add. But as we understand it, that should come in the next few days, and that is extremely good news that slalom maintains its position after being reintroduced in Barcelona and Atlanta. So away we go, and once again the Hungarians, Fehervari and Hegedus, very, very quickly into their paddling. And the Hungarians it is, and right at the top of the screen, also the Australians, Julian Norton-Smith and Nathan Bagley, are really powering out and putting themselves into medal contention. But as it is, it's lane number 5, the Hungarians, who are really, really going for the line now, and it looks to me as if they're going to equal it up. And the Hungarians take it, and that was very close for the places.
Amazing.
Could you spot silver and bronze there?
Too close to call there, but the Hungarians have tied the gold medal total with the Germans and led from the first stroke.
8 apiece, and that really is extraordinary paddling by the Hungarians. And we're seeing these 200s won by distances that are really, in some cases, quite surprising.
Well, I think what we're seeing is similar to the German victory in the C2, is you're seeing big athletes who have the power, and now they've learned how to add the skill at these short distances.
Let's just try and pick out here the silver and bronze. Now, 3 from the top of that bottom of the picture there. That looks like Sweden, who might be coming in for the... Or no, I would say 3 from the top. Italy, and then maybe Sweden. Italy and Sweden unofficially in silver and bronze, respectively, with the Spanish in 4th place. But I hasten to add that is unofficial.
It looks like the Italians had a fantastic shoot where they fire their boat forward, pushing their body weight back, and I think that got them the silver medal ahead of the Swedes.
That was the very experienced Beniamino Bonami and Paolo Tomasini. There the lineup. World champions were Hungary. Hungary, who won the title in Germany, and the score now, thanks to Birgit Fischer, is 9 gold medals to Germany, 8 to Hungary. Apologies for confusing you there. So this is Hungary's chance to really make it 9-all. Private little contest going here. It doesn't really mean much, except if you're Hungarian or German, that is.
Well, the K4 rivalry in these two nations is intense. 500 and 1,000 was quite a fight, and we expect the same thing here in the 200. And these guys take this very seriously. It's the team event in canoeing, and it's a lot of bragging rights.
Yes, it's in canoeing terms, I mean, the Germans love to win the rowing 8s. They pride that as the blue ribbon, and in canoeing terms, absolutely right, Tony. This is the one that they don't want to let go. And they've got a good outfit, the Germans here. Thorsten Gutschen, Mark Zabel, Jan Gunther, and Bjorn Bach. They were their crew, the German crew in '95 was bronze medalists. So we've got the gold, silver and bronze medalist countries represented here. Romania were 5th. And the Russians should also be respected. They were silver medalists in Germany. They haven't really shown up so well, but I think over this 200 meters, the Russians could be mighty effective.
Certainly we've seen people come in that we didn't expect. The race is so short, and everybody's going to be a factor.
Duisburg Regatta was won by Kutcher, Zabel, Ulm and Gunther. And that's usually a very good signpost to who's going to produce the goods on the day. And Romania and then Spain. Gregorio Vicente, Emilio Merchan, Miguel Garcia and Jovino Gonzalez, the quartet. Spanish, I think their women have really done them proud here, picked up some bronze medals at this regatta, and that will boost the support in their country. And closest to you, Bulgaria. So, the last race in these, the 28th Sprint Canoe World Championships.
The fastest event in canoeing, men's 200-meter K4.
Attention, please.
So less than 30 seconds to gun to tape now, but who is going to cross the line fast? And moving out very quickly there, 2 lanes above the Germans are the Russians, who started extremely quickly. And Anatoly Tshchenko is really putting the pace on in the bow there. But can he keep this drive going? Just inside him to his left there, going very quickly also the Hungarians. The Germans are down a little bit at the moment. It's the Russians who are driving towards that as we come towards the line. And is this going to be a Russian gold medal? And the Hungarians are getting back at them. Oh, that was very close. Now, if there's a photograph, that's it.
I think the Hungarians gave up too much early. I think the Russians have stolen it.
Well, I'd love to see the replay on that. I'm not going to call this until I see the replay, but I think maybe by their fingernails the Russians have actually just got there across the line, but it can't be by more than a few hundredths of a second. And the Russians, I think, have got this gold medal from Hungary, with probably Germany in 3rd place. And this is unofficial, but that's the quartet at the moment who we think are the champions of the K4s.
Well, the Russians picked up a cockpit lead right out of the blocks. Never
Let's have a
gave
look
it
at
up.
this. There's the... just there, I would say. Russians, Hungarians, and the Germans only just really getting the 3rd. If they rock that on in a moment, we'll see. Very close there, but the Germans, in fact, just from perhaps the Poles, in 4th place.